The director penalty notices have climbed to 26,000 as the Australian Taxation Office hunt down old debts. Now, Julian, can you please explain to people like myself that are perhaps new to this, what is this? What is this $4.4 billion the tax office is trying to recoup from old debts? Please tell me.
Yeah, so I'll provide some context. Like in our business, we're seeing a lot of small business owners come to us and they're looking for funding to get them out of tax debt. And so, this was, I would say, not very common not that long ago. And the reason for that is the ATO used to provide pretty flexible payment plans and help businesses, get on the right track and, even sometimes negotiate the tax debt down and things like that. Now they're enforcing at a degree we haven't pretty much ever seen. And it's led to record insolvencies in businesses. The largest instigator of insolvency in this country is actually the ATO now. And that's eye-opening. But essentially what happens is if a business runs up some tax debt, and we know in the last few years businesses haven't had it easy. I think 2019 there was the fires and lots of businesses suffered there. And they, took a while to get back. 2020 we had, first round of COVID. 2021 we had the second round. And then since then we've had rising costs of living, inflation, cost of goods have gone up, supply chain issues, all these things. Businesses that have survived this last sort of 5 years haven't had it easy. And, so they need to pay their suppliers, they need to pay their employees and things like that. So usually the first thing that they will maybe let slide a little bit is their ATO payments. So that might be the BAS, they usually lodge that quarterly. Inside the BAS, you've also got, the PAYG tax for their employees and things like that. So now what's happened is the ATO is saying, we were, flexible back then through COVID, all that kind of stuff. Now we want our money. And essentially they're issuing these director penalty notices for unpaid taxes. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. But they're using this sort of legislation, not the way that it was intended. They're using it and essentially weaponizing it, I would say, to effectively, when the director penalty notice is issued, the directors are then personally liable for that tax debt. So that means that they can't escape it. They can't, wind down the business and sort of let it go. That means the ATO is able to take their personal assets,
including their houses,
including
potentially
their home.
Cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And so that's the scary part. If business owners haven't had it easy in the last 5 years, and then now they're being hit with this. And so there was 26,700 director penalty notices issued, which was a record. I think this sort of thing is unprecedented in our country, and they're really just being super tough. Sort of what businesses can do to sort of, if they are really struggling with that, they obviously can get funding. They can enter into payment arrangements with the ATO, but they do need to, speak to an expert. And there's a newer program called Small Business Restructure, and that's probably a good way that people can restructure their tax debt, enter into an arrangement with the ATO, and avoid having their personal assets be liable. Like, I'm not somebody who does a small business restructure. Usually they're sort of insolvency style firms or accounting practices and advisories. But, we're sort of suggesting people look at that as a solution to prevent, losing their house and the roof over their kids' heads.
Yeah. So, sorry, I forgot to mention in the intro that you run Loans AI.
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Loan Options AI.
Yeah. Loan Options AI. And I mean, what are you seeing, like a large uptick in that with refinancing and people trying to, get back on top of things? Or
yeah, absolutely. And so you have